5-0 versus 0-5. Falcons versus Aurora, game number 1. Suns fan here with the Cindermeister. Oh, what is this? Oh, yeah. Predicting the 5-1 to 1-5, it seems. Of course, Aurora already eliminated from DreamLeague, but they, of course, have to play it out. And you mentioned this, and I agree to some extent, of course, that once you're eliminated from a tournament, there's no more, you know, you can kind of play free, which sometimes helps. Sometimes it doesn't, though, Cinderin. But I think Aurora they'll take anything they can get at this point.
Great taunt, Skitter. Thanks for that. Yeah, I kind of expect to see Aurora put up a decent performance today. I don't think they're going to get absolutely rolled. Of course, they're not favored. They're playing against the team of the tournament so far in Falcons, but I'm hoping that Aurora will at least give us a somewhat competitive game here. And I think some of the pieces that they've got in this draft gives me hope. I think Jab's Timbersaw is really scary. They've run it, and it's been banned against them quite a lot as well. But he's looked good on this hero for the most part, I would say. They've got 23 on his Medusa, and this time he doesn't have to play against Anti-Mage for once.
Yeah, but you got the Pango.
There is the Pango, but that's definitely not the same as Anti-Mage. It's two different heroes.
Yes, that is. I mean, didn't we see? Wasn't that the game that Medusa lost? But the AM really didn't have anything to do with it. Are we thinking of the same game?
I'm thinking of the game where I think Aurora played against Extreme Gaming and they played offlane AM on XXS.
Oh, never mind then. Yeah.
But we also had another game with AM, but that was the AM against Morphling, right? The one we had.
There was 2 AM games.
Okay.
I think. Anyway, it matters not. But we will be seeing the Pango versus Windrunner in the mid lane, which, yep. I mean, obviously, from the range perspective, Windrunner is going to be fine in this, but I mean, I agree. As a Pango player, Cinderin, I'm not that bothered by it. I think fast defusal purchaser feels like a free game for Pango after the early stages of the laning. And Malrine has shown a propensity to win lanes that he shouldn't. That is his specialty at this tournament.
Also, on an important note, in the top lane, Crit looks so cute on his techies on an elephant carrying around a banana.
Oh.
It's such a cute elephant, and it's literally carrying a bomb squad. So that's quite the interesting dichotomy. Wonder what the lore is behind how they got this elephant.
I'm sure it's very deep and very meaningful.
Very cute.
What do you think of the Elder Titan? This is a hero that Ollie has played quite a bit.
Yep.
And you and I have been quite underwhelmed. So I'll say it again, though. I think the reason, probably, I would assume, that they are picking it, first of all, it's a comfort hero for Ollie. But number 2, because of all the Roshans, this is, on paper, the best Roshan contesting type hero. Gives vision and all that stuff and has a huge AoE stun with the ult that will work very well in the Rosh pit. But the problem is it feels like every other part of the game it has looked very bad in this patch for whatever reason.
I'm just, when I look at Elder Titan, I'm looking for 2 things in my lineup. It's 1, do we have stuns so I can land my spells? And 2, how good is my aura for magic amp? Because the physical amp isn't necessarily, the removal of base armor isn't necessarily reliable if you're position 5. Like, can you actually go next to the heroes that are being killed? You're generally backlining, right?
Yeah, it's not like the old days where both worked.
Exactly. And in this case, you don't really have that much magic that you're amping. It's Mystic Snake, it's a power shot, it's Fade Bolt. It's not something like Mid-Lina, for example, that you're just taking to the next level. And as far as setting you up so that you can hit an Earth Splitter, it's mostly yourself in this game, like maybe a Shackle shot here or there in an edge case Stone Gaze, but I don't feel like you're drafting for that. So I'm kind of with BSJ here that I feel like they didn't really make it that good of a game for him. Skitter in trouble here, will survive. But
just barely.
Pressured a lot. Salve plus Tango will be delivered by a wolf.
Yep. And back to farming he goes, so should be okay for the foreseeable future. And Jab's playing the Timbersaw, which a hero that loves these early levels, and I'm not sure if this is a lane that he can... Okay, he's going to try to dive the tier 1 tower. This is very early on. Has 2 in Whirling Death, 1 in Reactive Armor.
Yeah. Wanted to use his Lotus.
As Lorinoff will have to use the winner. You can see 27-2 to the 24-0 of Malorine, so pretty much even, which I think is a win for Falcons, if anything.
That should help.
As Pangolier are going to be pretty crucial in their efforts to kill this Medusa eventually. And of course, the Stone Gaze can be used as a counter of sorts to the Rolling Thunder, but as long as you're not looking in her direction, it's not that big of a bother.
Yeah, it's... No money for you. And it's also just, I guess the axe timing on Pango is when it really ramps up, right? You want to have those extra shield crash procs come in, so... My goodness. Very aggressive here, Malorine.
Yep, 2 in shield crash. Force out the win run again.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
He's
Has there been a more aggressive mid laner?
He's still going.
Malorine. Oh, First Blood might come over here as Crit trying to run away from the Medusa, and Ollie gets off the blood grenade. Last right click is there. 23 Savage. First Blood. And Malorine very upset at his teammate. He wanted First Blood.
Did you hear the voice line from Medusa? I don't think I've ever heard that.
No, what was it?
First Blood, I like to start with dessert.
Okay.
Oh man, there's some of the voice acting and like the voice lines and the voice acting in this game are just S tier for me. It's really good. Oh, good start for him, obviously.
Except for the damage rune.
Yeah.
Voice lines. Still need to fix that.
That's true. I'm sure they'll come around to that. They just need to re-record 200 voice lines or 300.
I already told you the solution.
On 100 different characters.
Why can't you see what I see?
You just take the double damage sound and cut the double.
That's right. And rename the rune, of course, as Crit's going to be able to dodge the Echo Stomp as the swashes here from Malorine. Rolling Thunder connects onto Lorinoff. Can he find enough connections for the kill? Crit with the blood grenade. It will cost him his life, but more importantly, Malorine gets the kill onto Lorinoff. As Q shows up as well.
If he could have somehow lifted him during that swashbuckle, he still would have survived.
Yeah, I was going to say, what are you talking? Thanks for the very useful comment, as always.
Would have taken 3 tower shots.
And been perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Now, Skeeter playing the Luna. Has this hero been getting consistently banned in like the second phase, would you say?
Luna?
Yeah, very popular hero, but feels like we haven't seen it in a while. Sven has overtaken her.
Maybe I haven't been paying too close attention. I feel like it's not banned like every game, at least, compared to how few picks we've seen.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
But it's definitely one of the more banned second phase heroes for sure. With good reason. The hero farms exceptionally fast and offers a lot of utility in fights with a long-range stun, with big damage from the ult, and of course the aura. And most lane matchups for Luna are quite playable nowadays. It used to be a hero that would struggle in lane against quite a few heroes. Doesn't really seem to be the case. And I guess some of Luna's worst lane matchups are generally banned against Falcons or played by them, like Razor and Viper, right?
Yep.
Skitter doesn't have to worry about playing against Razor because he never has to.
That's true, actually. One of the many benefits of having Amar and Malorine on your team. And they've certainly started this Dota year. They kind of got off to a fast start, I would say.
Yeah.
Already undefeated, and again, just to be clear, they haven't lost a single game in this group stage, so it's not just the series going their way. Aurora has won some games, Cinderin.
Yep.
There's no series yet.
I don't think they have clearly looked as the worst team, to be honest with you.
No, for sure.
It's just mainly
might get punished for this. The taser is gonna force them back. Also, members here.
Also worth remembering, this is group stage 2. This was a 16-team tournament. So if you're the worst team here, you're still in the upper half.
Yeah.
And yeah, in group stage 1, things went a lot better for Aurora. It feels like some other teams caught up, and obviously the quality of opponents that they're meeting is just higher on average, but they haven't been like... You look at a scoreline and you see 0-5, and your mind immediately goes to, oh, they're just clearly the worst. But many of their series, they look competitive. Maybe they just don't clutch it out or lose a 3-game series like the one against OG yesterday, where they definitely could have won, which would have obviously been huge for a lot of the teams that OG are competing with for the top 4. But they didn't manage to get through it. A lot of teams yesterday that were Aurora fans It's very close around the middle of this bracket right now.
Yeah, but I think some of the narrative that comes with what you're discussing is the fact that Falcons, on the other hand, have just looked so good.
Yeah.
They have not lost a single game, like we said, and they've just looked better every single game. Even in the games where they start off with the laning loss.
Yeah.
They just look crisper, they rarely make mistakes, and these guys just seem to be on the same page. And obviously some of that comes from the fact that got a couple members of Tundra, along with the coach, of course. So there's a lot of familiarity there, and the fact that they've kind of catered their playstyle around, excuse me, around Amar and Malrine, who are these, I want to call them kind of wild card type personalities, but just using them for their strengths, and just been brilliant so far in this year. The real question is, well, there's two questions. Can teams catch up to what they're doing? Can they find a way to counteract what Falcons does in the draft and then in the game itself? And how long will it take Ice Frog to nerf Amar? Because it happens every year.
Yeah.
Right? By the time TI rolls around, all his heroes are dead. Malrine, and won't be able to get the Arcane. Crit will have to snag it.
That's already a small victory, making the techies take it. That's a very good rune on Pango.
I would imagine all the mines that he can place.
Yeah, with his level 4.
Yep,
It's going to be exciting to see. Can't wait for the mines to come out. Any second now. He could put down the minefield sign on a lower cooldown.
Oh yeah, you can actually cast that without having Ags. I forgot about that. It fakes them out. They'll never know you don't have Ags yet. Malrine will be swashing from the high ground. Lornoff wants to chase though. Shackle does hit. Sticky Bomb stolen.
That's
As
a
Q
good
will use
stomp.
it. Echo Stomp onto 2. Malrine is dead. Snaking is next. Great job from Aurora as they now have a 1K lead. Amar's going to pressure the tier 1 in the meantime. Very rarely have we seen Malrine in this group stage get punished like that.
Just a great connection from Lornoff there. It was a beautiful shackle shot. And this top tower will not fall this time around, but Amar will claim it in... Actually, never mind, it will fall this time.
It will fall. Nice Dragon Tail. Dodges the Echo Stomp as well. No point in chasing this dragon. Well, now that he's human, maybe.
So far, so good from Aurora, though.
Indeed.
11.5 minutes in. A lot of teams in this at this time in the game are down by 5 to 10 kills against Falcons and a couple thousand gold, so job well done by Aurora so far. Worth keeping in mind, they as a team, their team identity is very late game oriented. So that's where they, for the most part, drag the games out to. That's where, for the most part, their lineups really come together. So if the early game goes well, that's a very good sign that they can get to the part of the game that I would say it's fair to say is probably where they're... I don't know.
They're comfortable.
Yeah, at the same...
Echo Stomp. ET ult is coming for Snake King.
Big
and
damage.
he evaporates. Malrine using his ult, but hits the corner of the wall. So ends up being a wasted Rolling Thunder, but Amar doing a lot of damage to the tier 1 mid. As 23 Savage showing up quite a bit in this early stage.
Yep.
So Malrine, you can see that one kill upon him has made a big difference in his game. He's bottom of the charts in terms of just the cores.
Yep.
As a Maelstrom now there
baby.
for Lornoff.
That's a lot of mines.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of creeps.
Good stuff. Mar will clean that up.
Let's see some camp stacked stats. Got an interesting stat for Knoxville. I think it was yesterday. We were casting a game of Falcons, and we were pointing out Falcons had stacked an obscene amount of camps minute 12. It was the second highest amount of camps stacked of all time in a game at minute 12. But not just that, it was the second amount in any game ever, including, like, just... It was second only to one game by Gaming Gladiators, which was 75 minutes long. They stacked that many camps at the 12-minute mark.
Aurora has stacked more
It was ridiculous.
in this game so far.
That's impressive. It's been something Falcons have found a lot of time to do. I guess they do a better job at it on Dire. It might be...
Yeah, maybe it is a Dire thing.
Might be something.
That's certainly possible. Manta there.
Come to think of it, don't we mainly see Falcons play Dire?
Oof. I don't look at... I mean, they're both equal to me, Cinder. I don't see Radiant or Dire when I see a hero.
They might not be equal. equal to Falcons. I think they've actually chosen side over pick priority, if I'm not mistaken. And maybe in this game, Aurora chose Dire specifically to counter that. I don't know.
Okay, they are not able to stun him in the end, as the tier 1 bottom will go down one way or another. Can Jabs go for the deny? Won't try.
TPN from
TP,
Laurenov.
Snake King.
Hello, Snake King.
Spot Laurenov. Or is it the other way around? Illusion Rune being used to dispel the Frostbite as Snake King gets off his ult, but the power shot finishes him off as Malrine. Well, not able to get the first connection on the Rolling Thunder, so now we'll try to roll away as Jabs, using that pure damage to his advantage, onto Skeeter. Swashbuckle from afar. Echo Stomp. Not quite there as the blast off comes in to try to counteract this. The taser as well, but it's not enough. And Aurora end up netting 3 kills for themselves, and it's an 8-1 advantage.
I told you. Never count out Aurora when there's nothing to play for.
You have a big sample size with
Marine's like, wait, aren't these guys bad? What's going on?
Yeah, from his perspective, I'm sure that's what I was talking about as well. Like, he could have some overconfidence from Falcons as well.
I think Aurora can actually tie for 6th, and there is a meaningful EPT difference between 5th, 6th, and 7th, 8th.
EPT?
And also prize pool difference. Correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think the amount of points is actually quite significant.
Yeah, it's different at all levels.
So
pretty much.
Playing for these steps is quite important. Obviously, people will be very focused on, okay, can you make the final stage or whatnot? But looking at the big picture, these games still hold value to Aurora. It's not just for the practice and for the fans here.
I mean, despite
definitely something on the line.
We're going to have the stun from Amar as the rest of his team are coming to clean up Jabs. They'll get him. So 8-2, but only a 1K lead for Aurora. That's at least a little bit concerning.
That's Luna, baby. She's farming very fast.
Yep, Skeeter with the Mask of Madness, Yasha at the moment. You can see Aurora now.
They did get the bottom tower, but Jabs ended up dying here. Obviously got collapsed on by a major rotation from Falcons. Did they bring 4 heroes for that 1 kill, I believe?
Laurenov uses the Invis rune. We'll definitely need a +1 here.
This would be a very big find.
Oh yeah, Skeeter. He has Mask of Madness, so Laurenov very slow. Ooh. Low ground 3 members of Falcons show up. And after all that, Q is going to be the one to fall here towards the gate. Stolen Freezing Field will keep him alive a little longer as Crit gets taken out by Laurenov. So he does find a kill in the end, but man, 1 second head start, maybe he finds that connection.
Yeah, I was very close to finding both the Luna and honestly also the Pango on the way in the jungle. Just nighttime didn't give him enough vision range to be able to see the Pangolier. Curious to see Jabs by this dagger. I wonder...
Up Jabs.
Oh, that's...
Okay, Dragon Tail was on a creep, I believe.
Really hated that creep.
Yeah, well,
Amar should try the new experimental settings.
I was going to say.
Select your stun to only target heroes. Might be good.
You know, there was a time where that would have enraged a very large percentage of the Dota player base. Now I think for all these years, apathy has set in. Shackle shot. Crit.
Oh,
Echo Stomp now. Amar jumps right into the thick of things. They're going to lose Crit anyway, and now Amar on the run.
And
Snake King gets deleted by Jabs. Okay.
I do not blame the observers for not seeing that kill. Why was he there? Wait, what happened? The fight was over 10 seconds ago, and he's just randomly standing there. The enemy team doesn't have vision. It's a Radiant Ward.
Oh, but it's not over yet, apparently. Oh, he dropped his boost. That would have been really disastrous for Jabs. Not expecting Amar to be near. And when's the last time we saw somebody take advantage of a situation like that?
Yeah.
It's been quite a while.
Let me see the replay here. Okay, I guess he was just walking in as the fight was starting on the techies and thought his teammates were going to take that fight. It makes sense because Amar on the Dragon Knight was jumping in for the Dragon Tail, right? And Snaking wants to cover the flank and actually counterplay when the Aurora team is perceived to want to retreat, but unfortunately for Falcons, they didn't care and just stood their ground.
I mean, Crystal Maiden is so slow that once you make your trek to wherever you're going, you just give up.
Or no,
you know?
like ships in the night actually dodging each other there. I think
Snaking
saw him, or excuse me, Skitter saw him.
Snaking is dead. That's 2 little engagements here for him. Second one results in the death.
This is a big steal on Q, actually. The Frostbite can come very much in handy against Pangolier, against the Dragon Knight. This spell lasts so long on Rubik, and the cooldown is quite short. So as long as he has that mana, it's actually, I would argue it's the best spell he can have right now, probably,
No, he's just
in the game.
Mines, maybe?
Yeah, and you can always look to something like Eclipse, but it's more like contextual, whether you can get that off. Frostbite is just such a feels-good spell on this hero.
Wait, how does Eclipse work now when you don't have Lucent Beam? Because it used to not do anything.
You get the same level as Luna has, I think.
So you kind of get 2 skills, in a way.
Yeah, I suppose. Just that you can only use one of them, so you get 1 spell.
Okay, good.
Tower's gone. We'll go the way of 23. So,
Butterfly is what he's opting for.
Well, you gotta look at this, right? 2k lead. We said the Luna's farmed. If Medusa and Luna are going hand in hand, it's a good matchup for the Medusa. So Aurora with a potentially good late game matchup here. Not just the Luna, the Dragon Knight, I would say Medusa also fares pretty well against. So definitely not looking too shabby for them. Crit. TP out. I'm imagining Malrine will do the same. They got the farm they came for. Backing down toward bottom.
Yeah, Crit gets a nice reactive taser upgrade from the Tormy.
Yep. Cast on allies, give that disarm. Quite nice to put on the DK when he initiates. You could Dragon Tail into the taser exploding, and then you have a full-on disarm on the Wind Ranger, for example. Would be very nice.
Skater, BKB being delivered. We'll buy the shard next. So, from Falcon's perspective, when is the time to fight? Is it this BKB timing on Luna? Because even if you're saying the Luna versus Medusa matchup late is Medusa favorite, Falcons are not scared to go late game either, though.
No, this is definitely a game that both lineups can win even late. It's just the carry-to-carry matchup. I like the Medusa in that one. Obviously, there's more factors at play.
Only gets maybe the second worst shard in terms of the supports that we've been seeing. Bat Rider being number 1. It's actually maybe interchangeable. Maybe this is worse than the Bat Rider one, actually.
At least this one gives you a choice, right?
Yeah, but also increases your net worth by 1,400.
Yeah. But yeah, being able to take the place of the Spirit can be helpful sometimes if you really need that armor removed from the... Let's say you're chasing the Luna, right? And you get the Stomp connection, and then you switch places with it, and then your Medusa is starting to absolutely destroy the Luna suddenly.
Okay, well, Bat Rider supports can also have the choice whether to auto-attack in their Lasso Center. It's their choice.
Yeah, just that the upside to that one is so much worse.
Yep. Unless you get late game shard, of course.
Yeah, that's very normal. We've seen that a lot.
We did see it initially when it was core Bat Rider.
Yeah.
Some crazy-ass builds. When that worked on illusions, oh my god.
Yeah, Bat has been through some hotfix phases, as usual. Every time some new concept gets put in the game, Bat Rider needs a special clause.
Crit, yeah, they're going to put some illusions up here to tank. Look at these illusions, man.
They are so good for
Unbelievable. God, so stupid.
And Crit's just sitting there.
I just spent the last half hour putting up those mines.
He just built a house, and the natural disaster of your choice came through and tore everything he built down. He has to start over. Falcons will smoke. It's too late.
It is. So Aurora really showing up here in game number 1. 23 Savage with the Aegis.
They're just going to dip.
You think that's the good choice for them? Could have opted for the Windrunner, potentially.
Yeah. It depends how they're going to use it. If they can somehow enforce a 5v5 where the Medusa just goes and pushes towers now, I really like it. But if it's just going to be this kind of chill, slow farming, you might as well have put it on the Windranger to make some sort of moves. Falcons will not slow down despite being against the Aegis. They will get up here and look to push a bit. At least into the tower. They'll not commit for the tower. Keeping up the pace. Double damage top. Just kidding. It's just a damage rune nowadays.
What if it's scaled into double damage?
How?
I don't know.
Then you need to make a voice line for all the versions. 1.1 damage rune.
Yeah, you could use AI for the ChatGPT.
Then all of the really unique reactions the heroes have when they pick it up. My damage twice over, and then it's like, my damage 1.5 times over.
Yeah.
Wow, that sounds awesome.
I love it. Great addition to the game. Aurora
Medusa has officially caught up to Luna.
That's impressive.
Equally rich.
Yeah, and Butterfly is coming. So, from Luna's perspective, this is not a hero that wants MKB. I mean, both of these heroes are going to get Butterflies. Yeah. Do you get MKB on either of them? Do you rely on maybe Bloodthorn on someone, like the Windrunner, for example?
Yeah, I think Windrunner doesn't mind buying Bloodthorn. I think Dragon Knight could also do it somewhere down the line, but probably Halberd will be his priority specifically because it's Medusa. It's like, it's one of the best items against that hero. Medusa doesn't like buying BKB, and you just have this very long... It kind of works as a stun against Medusa because she can't really do that much else. Looks like Amar will maybe take the Axe first, though.
As Jabs picks up his fresh BKB.
Radiant's top tower
The question is, when do these teams, or more specifically, when does Aurora want to do something with his Aegis? Still, it's at half duration now.
Yep. Well, it looks like 23 wants to do stuff.
Yeah, looks like it.
He's doing stuff all right.
23 Savage hitting the tower. Fortification comes out. Damage rune still on the Windrunner. As the swashes continue on to lower the mana capacity of 23.
Power is gone.
Absolutely. That is the siege. That is 23.
Well, the difference between this game and the one we just watched with Betboom is that Falcons are actually defending the barracks.
That is they were down one set of racks, and then they gave up the other two, I think, right? That was.
Did they defend the I feel like they didn't defend the first one.
Did they give up all three?
The way I remember it, there was no team fight for either barracks. They just gave up the first set, then they got ganked out on the map, lost the second set, got ganked again, and lost the third. That's how I remember the game. Maybe I'm wrong.
You're probably right. They usually are.
Lorinov. Hounding Amar.
Amar. Chakrum's going to come for you. Oh, he tries to TP out.
The lift.
And now Amar will go down to the focus fire, among other things. Although Speeder's here with an Eclipse. Immediate BKB from Lorinov. Now he tries to run away as Jabs also pops that BKB. Cute. He steals Moonglaves. Very useful as Jabs. Timber chains to safety. Is the ET ult not going to find a connection? Now that the BKBs are down, this is a 4v5 situation in favor of Aurora.
Illusion.
With the Aegis still there on 23.
Rubik cannot steal another spell fast enough. He really doesn't want this garbage. He doesn't have his shard, so...
Can we click on...
Currently
I want to see him. I want to see the Moonglaves. Do they look like Moonglaves?
He needs to
or does he have his own version?
He needs to attack something.
Yeah, let's see. He's going to do it here. He's going to Fade Bolt into right-click. The wave that's not coming. This 23 is just too
I really
greedy.
hope he attacks something sooner. This is the biggest waste of
time.
time.
I hope we miss a kill because we're watching this.
Yeah. Nice. All right. He's
hit a camp.
He's specifically dodging every camp. Nice.
Anything.
He took this.
Use your Moonglaves.
Oh,
wait.
Here it comes.
No. Tomato is
mid wave. He's gonna Fate Bolt and not attack. Ah.
Oh. Okay, it's just a Moonglaive.
That's the Moonglaive.
Wow, exciting.
Hey, he can farm.
That's
the build on Rubik is you go Ags and then you steal Moonglaves and Empower.
Oh. Yeah.
And then you jungle.
There's a Magnus in the game. I forgot about that. You're right.
Yeah.
That's crazy. What if you could steal spells from creeps? Would that be useful?
From neutrals?
Yeah.
What would you steal?
It would be a random one if they have multiple.
Radiant's middle barracks are under attack.
Well, you wait until
23
they cast it,
Savage.
and then you can take it.
No Aegis anymore. Yeah, that's true. 5K lead for Aurora as they want to go high ground. The tower is dead mid, but they'll focus on the bot for now. As I'm sure just trying to create space, and they probably won't overcommit until they have this next Aegis on their side. And while this is happening, Skeeter is going to be pushing the top lane, but now might be backing his Malrine. Ready to go with his ult. There's the Dragon Tail stun to start things out. Rolling Thunder in addition.
Great
Do they have the lockdown? Crystal Maiden dead already as 23 Savage. His Linken's going to be popped. Eclipse to follow, but the ET ult coming in hits several heroes. And this is going to force Falcons back for now. Now the BKBs galore pop from Aurora as they're trying to go in pretty deep. Lorinoff gets the double kill. Amar will be the recipient of that. He does have his buyback in addition to his ult, so they could fight if they want to. As this is a 15-3 advantage for Aurora.
Lorinoff, God, what an insane shackle shot that just made the entire fight. He binds two heroes together. He finds the focus fire onto the Dragon Knight. You're going to see the replay of it here. So this Dragon Tail comes in, and he's in the perfect position as this is coming in a second. Here, this one. They instantly burst Snay.
Yeah, that's dirty.
Yeah.
That is dirty.
And that is Lorinoff.
So we go back to live, and that is almost another tier 3 in favor of Aurora. Falcons being put to the test by the team that's already been eliminated.
Oh, he's
Skeeter gets bursted from full. No buyback at all. And 23 Savage and company on the high ground. Hitting the barracks uncontested. And remember, there's no tower mid. I don't see how they're going to stop this. Unless 23 Savage and company just back away, which they will for the time being. They can sense that the smoke has occurred. They will counter smoke as well. Jab sitting on the sideline.
Aurora is a team well known for peaking at the right time. Finding the absolute stellar performance against the best team in the tournament. This is the team you want to beat. This is where you want to play your best. Unfortunately, they lost 5 series before this one.
Yep, that is unfortunate.
It is a shame, but they are definitely showing what they're made of here. This game has honestly, so far, not even been remotely close.
It has not.
They are just out-strategizing them. They played the moves better.
Oh, they find a connection onto Amar. He has to be careful. This would be a dieback for him. Malrine with a nice rolling thunder, but Q's able to get out quite easily. The focus on Ollie, and yeah, CM dead again. As Malrine forced back. He's going to get Gleipnir. Do they have the damage to finish him off? Not quite. Dragon Tail. You can see Jab's in pretty deep right now. We'll Timber Chain away, though. As the butterfly is finally completed for Skeeter, but this is the second Rax now Aurora will be getting. And 23 Savage, you can see, literally not using his hands as he right-clicks these barracks.
What's a right click if you don't use your hands? Is it like a mind click?
I guess it's an auto attack. Yeah. He definitely has auto attack on.
They're not only beating Falcons, they're beating them telepathically.
Damn, that's impressive.
And we're approaching some really good potential meme numbers here for the meme connoisseurs and investors. 322 or 420, both in range here for Aurora.
Yep. Oh, crit.
Crit wants to contribute, but
blink away. As 23 Savage will get the tier 2 Amar in his dragon form. We'll try to slow things down, and Aurora can now steal the Tormentor to add insult to injury. And then I would imagine they get Roshan and then try to finish this game. Although the smoke comes out from Falcons, they want to try to contest whatever Aurora is doing, but Aurora actually backing away. Yep. 23 Savage is going to be the one to likely pop the smoke. Although they actually go around the other side. Do they know they're up here?
Oh,
rolling thunder from Malrine. All right, Rubik instantly dies. They find Ollie next. That's 2 supports dead just like that. Stone Gaze popped by the Medusa, but the Halberd applied. Can't really auto-attack. Will actually just TP out instead.
They cut their losses. It's a really nice move from Falcons. The way this broke out, they had crit breaking on the south side, so Aurora thought the attack was about to come in, but then it came in at the same time. They didn't really have time to prepare based on seeing crit. And they found a very nice backstab onto the perfect target in the Rubik and then onto ET. Couldn't have done it any better. But they can't get cores. They will just BKB TP out on all of them.
So we miss out on all the memes in terms of the kill counter. Very unfortunate. You're looking really hard at it and thinking right now. So
Thinking about what's funny with 5. It's just a really unfunny number.
Yeah, that's true. If we end up 6 to 99, it could be pretty good.
Yeah, 690, the next scoreline we're looking at.
And Roche number
Or
2.
644, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. That one's not very good.
It's also very uncommon,
That's
though.
really forcing it.
Here goes Roche again.
Aegis, Banner. All right, I have not gotten to see Aurora's usage of Banner. Remember, the last time Falcons were down Mega Creeps, they went down mid and won.
Yeah.
So, it's
Slightly different situation.
yes, this is accurate.
This is way earlier in the game, so it's way harder to do. The respawn timers are shorter. Oh, Hex from Jabs.
Yep, Q is there with the telekinesis. Amar's going to be able to fly away, though. Lorenoff trying to pursue, but he is in human form now. Gleipnir not going to connect. Snaking with the freezing field from the tree line as Malrine in the Rolling Thunder. Lorenoff's just going to brush him off with the BKB. The Medusa all alone. This is the Aegis, remember. Can they kill him even once? 23 Savage getting quite low now on mana. Pops the Stone Gaze. They do not have the damage, it seems, as he will be able to get away. The Disperser used to give him a little boost, and back to the fountain he goes.
Aurora's backline was so far behind, and they just stayed there for so long. Like, they were 2K range behind the Medusa, didn't really come in to help, just confident that he was going to survive that, and he did, but that was very close. He had like 1% mana lift.
Yeah. Well, Falcons are going to have to do something pretty damn quick. Creeps are in their base.
This is a good read from them.
Yep, they get the connection, but the Lincoln's procs on the Dragon Tail, but the blast off is there. You can't block that one. And the auto attacks from Amar. Will it be enough? The ETL comes in doing a massive amount of damage, but Crit is the first to fall along with Lorenoff. So it's a 1-for-1. As Skeeter pops his BKB, now trying to run away. Has the Eclipse. As 23 Savage can't pursue any further. Oh, Skeeter stuck in the trees. Oh boy, that is rough. Telekinesis into the burst from Jabs.
Ironic, all the night vision in the world, and you still can't see your surroundings. Might want to get your night vision goggles checked on that Luna. Or train your mount better.
Where did that tree come from?
It would be really funny if it actually spawned in front of him.
That would be funny.
Oh, boy.
The Hex. I thought he was out for sure. Echo Stomp coming for you. As Jabs will be the one doing most of the damage here. And they can taunt their way to this kill. Amar falls again. He's down for 70 without a way back in. And Aurora. Aegis still plenty of time.
Yep. This is the perfect opportunity to just end the game here. You have a 1-minute timer on Dragon Knight. You know Luna, even if she buys back, won't have BKB for a bit. Straight up we go.
Can they defend?
How can they possibly hold this?
Well, Luna has buyback. That's one thing. As Malrine will try to get rid of the creeps, but she'll do so. The illusion's not so much, though. 23 Savage, another Disperser usage just to dodge out some of these rolling
was that
thunder.
A stolen Dragon Tail?
Gleipnir on top. Malrine, he's just going to get bursted. Just like that, he's dead. 70 seconds. Does have his buyback remaining as the fortification finally activated on Falcons. And they're going to have 5 here pretty soon now, with the buyback being expended by Malrine.
Q is still holding on to that level 4 Dragon Tail. This is a very long stun. It's like 3 seconds long on Rubik with a decent cast range.
23 Savage, they got to get through him once. But the sheep initiation from Jabs, do they have the burst to get through to the Luna? Gets force staff.
Oh,
BKB is still there, but he's still stunned. Echo Stomp onto several heroes. Down goes Skeeter. Still the buyback, though. He will use it. Snaking gets canceled on his ult pretty much immediately. Jabs disrupted during the Timber Chain. Eclipse comes out, but the Stone Gaze retreat means that most of these Eclipse charges will not connect. They're going to try to reset just a little bit. Ollie's going to be the first to fall. 23 Savage, no more BKB. His mana is getting quite low, but Skeeter, this will be a dieback on him. He's not careful. Gleipnir onto 2. Do they have the damage to finally finish off this Luna? Yes, dieback for Skeeter. And now Amar will be pursued on the high ground. The Rolling Thunder being used by Malrine, but he's going to get focus fired. He might just drop. Indeed, he does. Double kill for Lorenoff. GG's called. Aurora completely stomp Falcons and provide them their first